This is a quick message to women. I was speaking to a sister and we were discussing how the Christian church and Catholic church, you're all stuck like in this hamster in a wheel, spiritually, where you're just stuck at the cross and Yeshua Messiah was crucified on a stake, a tree. And you just yearly, observe, you think you're observing his death, burial, and resurrection. And, and you even think he's going to come back as a baby in a manger, and he's going to come back as a lion, with his army, okay, to execute judgment upon the children of disobedience, right? And it's like you remind me of Acts 1, when the disciples saw, Yeshua gives them instructions and they see him ascend into heaven and they're just like in awe, like, oh, just staring, instead of like snap out of it, pick up your staff and walk, because they were given instructions just like you and I were given instructions, and to get to work, enter into the works of the prophets. John chapter 4, verse 34 to 38. And the two angels arrive and they're like, snap out of it, go to Jerusalem and go receive what he promised, which is going to be the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is given to those whom obey. We're called to be witnesses, okay? And you're just stuck doing these rituals that he didn't ask you to do, like Christmas and Easter. You were not told to go observe these things. As a matter of fact, he said, don't worship me, the Father, Yah. He said, don't worship me the way the world does, the way the heathen, nations, pagans, etc. It means the way the world worship their little g gods, okay? He didn't want that. Then he sends his son, whom he's going to put his words in his mouth. Go read Acts 3, 19 to 26 and Deuteronomy 18, 15 through 19, teaching us to keep the Holy Covenant, the 10 Commandments written in Deuteronomy 5, Exodus 20, and 1 Peter chapter 2, he says, you will be a chosen generation, a peculiar treasure, and those are the ones that obey God's voice. And if you obey the Son, then ultimately you're obeying the Father. And Yeshua told us to go baptize nations, go teach them everything that he taught us, right? He tells you that in Matthew 28, to baptize them in the name of the Father, Jehovah, the Son, Yeshua, and the Holy Spirit. If you obey, you will receive the Holy Spirit, okay? And you can go read that in John 14. Why would Yeshua say, if you love me, keep my commandments? Basically, he taught you how to enter into life, which is keeping the 10 commandments. He teaches you that in Mark 10, verse 17 to 22. He teaches you that in Matthew 19, verse 16 to 22. I hope you're taking heed to all this. But the problem is, you can't hear because of your idolatry. We are told in scriptures, we are going to become deaf, dumb, and blind spiritually if we do idolatry, okay? And that's why you're not born again. That's why you're stuck there. And you're just like, like looking at the sky and like not getting out of your head, out of your own head, your own vain imagination. You've thought of your own way to worship the Father, and you can find all the truth in the scriptures. It's already laid out for you. But you don't want to hear that. You rather go to these churches where you're warned that they're lying to you. Read Jeremiah 23. Go read Ezekiel 34. Yeshua tells you in John 3 in John chapter 3, how to be born again. But then if you look at Jeremiah 10, one must be born in order to go. But you're still stuck there. You can't go. That's why you're just doing these rituals yearly, year after year, doing things he didn't tell you to do. He told you to keep the 10 commandments. And if you obey, you will receive the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. And then you get to go and judge righteous judgment. Pick up your staff and walk. That's an action. Pick up your staff and walk. Obey. And he's going to give you authority. You're going to receive, this confidence and authority to go judge righteous judgment, to reprove the world of sin, to teach about God's righteousness, his holy covenant, his righteousness. The 10 commandments written by his finger will be counted as our righteousness. Deuteronomy 6, verse 24 to 25. Romans 10, 9 through 10. Read those verses. Confess covenant. Proclaim the truth. That is how you're confessing covenant. When you speak his truth, preach his truth, you're confessing that you keep the 10 commandments, and you're telling others you must also keep them. Take heed to what I just said, ponder on it, pray about it, and start doing it.